It says I'm live, but I do not see the camera. All right. I don't see. Oh, maybe because I didn't have it open. Here I am, everybody. All right, let me make sure we're good here. Put this down some. Cool. Hope y'all doing good on this Wednesday. Close this up. Too much light. I'll turn this on. Okay. What's this as well? Everybody, it is Wednesday, Hump Day, and we are here for the regular weekly live. This out the way. Today, if you didn't watch my last video that I posted on Sunday, we're going to be talking about a 90-day challenge. Okay. I'm going to be doing this myself. Turn this down so you can hear me. I'm going to be doing this myself. So I'm really inviting you on this journey with me. If you have something that you want to change in your life. Now, we'll just go ahead and jump and get right to it on if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Are you over it? I talked about this in the last video about burnout. Do you want to burn it all down? Like, what is the point in it all? If you're feeling any of these things, you're not alone, first of all. You're not the first person to feel it. I've been there. I felt that, which is why I share this information, which is why I'm so passionate about it, which is why I'm also inviting you on this 90-day habit challenge. Now, I'm calling it a habit challenge. It's a lifestyle change. At the end of the day, if you want to change your life, then this is for you. I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you all today and show you what I have for you to assist in this process, because I know that 90 days can seem like a lot. It sounds like a lot. 90 days, I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter what's going to happen tomorrow. You still choose to show up. You still choose as a non-negotiable. This was something big that stuck out to me a couple of years ago, and it really got me out of the rut too. This is a non-negotiable. It has to. I am going to do this. I must do this. But the thing is, we struggle, and sometimes when we feel stuck in life, we feel lost, we feel foggy-minded, and we don't have that clarity, is because, one, it's the whole melancholy thing and the, feeling like we don't have a lot of power or not knowing what to do next, apathy with life. What's the point in it all? And when you're in that position, it's hard to have any sort of drive or energy to do anything. And again, you're not alone. This has happened to plenty of people. It's happened to me. I'm going to help you with that, which is what this challenge is about. But when you're in that, you're going to look at a 90-day challenge and be like, again, what's the point? I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Am I even going to be here? And I'm going to go ahead and go here. We're going to go here. Tell you a little bit about me and my story. All right. And why I share this information, why I think it's important. Let me turn this up a little bit, hopefully. All right. Okay. Sharing a little bit of my story. Oh, I think we're going the wrong way. Hold on. There we go. All right. Growing up, I felt out of place. And if we want to go there, I'll go there. Okay. I am mixed race. Now you go into my DNA and genealogy and all that stuff. I have like almost everything in me down the line. Our ancestors coming together and all these things. Okay. I am mixed race. Growing up, born in the 80s. Okay. That was not acceptable back then. It was not an acceptable thing. So, and also, since it wasn't acceptable, it wasn't a lot of mixed race people or products for mixed race people. So, someone who had different hair than other people and didn't have products for it, it was hard to do my hair. So, I felt self-conscious about my hair at certain points. I also had to wear glasses since elementary school. I felt self-conscious about wearing glasses all the time. And back then, they didn't have a lot of styles. Okay. Also, just feeling out of place growing up in the Black community as this mixed race child in a white dad. Okay. You see that difference. You hear it. And this is for anybody. Okay. There's whatever your story is, this is for you. I'm just sharing my story. That we can feel out of place. We feel like we don't fit in whatever environment we're in. And then I add on religious factors, and I didn't fit there. I tried, and I didn't fit there. Then we add on my sexual preference. Okay. I am a lesbian, if you didn't know. I don't know, people are still shocked by it. It's kind of crazy to me. But okay, thanks for not judging, although you still judge. But anyway. So we add on these things of this identity that I have. This is how I show up in the world. And I'm not fitting in the place that I'm in. And so that was a struggle for me, especially growing up. Anybody growing up, if you don't know the world, you're trying to learn the world, but you don't fit into the world. So what do? You feel out of place. Okay. Then growing up even more, trying to find who you are. That's a part of life. Going through your 20s. When you reach like the end of your 20s, it's really about your identity. And you're taking what you've lived up to that point and you're saying, well, who am I from all of that? And we're supposed to carry on what we were taught. We're supposed to carry on what environments we're in. And so when you do something different, you isolate yourself because you may be one of the only people doing that thing in your community. You may be one of the only people who are showing up in that way, and that's hard. Like, if you're the only one, it's hard to fully embody and show up as who you are when you're the only one. Because all eyes on you, you feel like, you're being judged. And a part of that is also conditioning growing up, being a people pleaser or not doing things to stand out or whatever the conditioning was growing up. It was safer to not stand out because then people don't have eyes on you. So then it's safer that way. Whatever it is. And it's so much to the story, but basically here's just getting straight to it. At one point, I wanted to end it. Not one point. There was multiple points where I wanted to end it. Okay, growing up. I didn't do it, obviously. I didn't attempt it because then my next thought was, why not just run away? Why would I end it all? Why not just run away? Catch a train. Just hop on the train. And I love those movies where there's like kids. Like, I can't remember the name of this one movie, and I don't even know. I tried to look it up before and I couldn't find it anymore. It's like kids that, I don't know if they were family or what, and they just like didn't have any parents and they were like trying to find where to live and all this other stuff. I loved all those adventure movies and things. And it was just like, well, why don't I just run away to where I feel accepted? And then I guess you could say that just stuck with me as a thing. So when I got older, I did the things you're supposed to do, went to school, all these things. I tried to change my sexuality, again, based off religion, but didn't happen, okay? Because the belief is that is an abomination, it is wrong, and you're not even worthy to God. So why would you even be here? Okay? These are things that people have to deal with, specifically in certain communities, such as the queer community. Like, you get kicked out Some people get unalived and other things. So, and then you have to go live where you can, wherever that is. And then that leads to substance abuse and all these other things, like not good stuff. And so, again, why I'm sharing my journey, because I was there before, as far as feeling like, what's the point? Wanting to end it all, wanting to just leave. And then I get older, and, as an adult, you got a vehicle, you can get around, you can do what you want to do. Again, that leads to certain lifestyle choices, certain things, because then you feel like you're fitting in somewhere, feeling more accepted, but those are temporary a lot of times. And sometimes it's just the lifestyle. So you start to live a certain lifestyle, partying, this and that, and you get caught up, and you're just doing that regularly, and that's just your habits. These are your behaviors that you have. And when you have those behaviors, it's hard to change once you're in it, because those are your friends that you did all that stuff with. So now when you don't do it, here you are, being different again, standing out again. And one part about when I was younger and I would have these thoughts and feeling alone and all this, I really honed in my skills of daydreaming. I used to love to daydream. My imagination would just go. And even just dreaming, going to sleep, because I could go into another world at that point. So I just want to add that little tidbit on there. And yeah, just recreating my own world at that point. So I kind of already had that in me from the start. And then also, that's why I wanted to go into film, was because I wanted to, I'm like, if these other companies and corporations and things, it's known that the TV can hypnotize you, it's known that the music and all these things can influence you, then I would like to use it for good, to help others out there. And so starting to go more into the film industry and media, got the degree in communications specifically in that area. And so that was just a part of my journey. But I still was not feeling fulfilled. Like I said, your late 20s, you go on this whole identity thing of who I am, and you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do by 30. And in your 30s, you're supposed to have like the family and the job and the 401k and all these things and working towards that. And this is where we get into the American dream, which is no longer true, obviously. That's why people are freaking out now too, is because it's like, what is even the American dream anymore? One, we were just told that. Like, what is the American? Because we were supposed to have freedoms. And when you have freedoms, then you're able to start businesses, you're able to provide for your family and live a life that you enjoy, that you have fulfillment and liberty to do what it is you want to do. But now, a lot of people didn't even have that even then, especially the Black community, people of color, certain oppressed communities still didn't even have that, or they had limited access to some of this stuff. So that's why it's like, this stuff's been going on for a long time. All right. But I understand that when you realize that everything's a lie, then what? So here we come back to the point of where some people may be feeling like, what's the point in a 90-day habit challenge? Because all this stuff's going on. If everything's a lie, the matrix, systems, can't trust the food, can't trust the water, can't trust the clothes, none of this stuff does. What's the point? Now, that is your personal journey to go on. I'm not going to tell you what to believe in any of that. I can tell you my journey, my story, what I believe. One, you can check out my book on my website, bornvital.com, bornvital.com. And you can check that out in the description box as well. And so I talk about going on a personal journey in there, and you can go on your own journey to find meaning in life. There's a book called Man's Search for Meaning that you can check that out. And so anyway, I had all these experiences in life, got to the point where it was like, who am I? What am I doing here? I'm not fitting in. I no longer want to do the lifestyle that I was doing because it's not sustainable. It's not good. I don't want to grow up and be this person that's in pain on all these medications, that's relying on the system that doesn't care about me. You want me gone. And that's the whole thing. I'm not going to do it for you. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here because I believe in being the change. Now, being the change isn't just a saying, it's actively living that. If I didn't see it in the world, then I'm going to live it and be that and show up for the next person, for the next generation, because I didn't have it. I didn't see that representation. And so I went out on a search, one, to find meaning, and also to find, who am I? What am I good at? What am I doing here? What can I do? And so I went on a whole journey. Again, I'm not going to talk about all of it right now because it's not about me. This is about the 90-day habit challenge. But I'm saying this because this will help change your life. 90 days, 3 months. If you can commit to 3 months, you can change your life. Now, 21 days to 30 days, you can develop a new habit. But in order to sustain that habit, in order to see actual change in your life, you need to give yourself 90 days. If you can give yourself 90 days, you can change your life and keep it and make it successful and sustainable. You won't keep quitting all the time. You will have developed and incorporated these habits. All right, so let's get into it. So we feel sick and tired of life, sick and tired of our situation. Something has to change. We're no longer going to play the victim. We're going to get out of that victim mentality. Okay. Take extreme ownership. Good book, Extreme Ownership. That's going to be very hard because you got to look in the mirror, and you also have to just take ownership of everything, which is not easy because some of the things that happened to us, it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault. And it's not that we take ownership of that. It's just that we take ownership of right now. What can we do? Okay. So then once we get out of that victim mentality, once we take the ownership, once we say, I'm no longer going to sit in this, I'm no longer going to continue to live like this, you have that fire that is burning inside. That is why a lot of us want to burn things down. And that's when we burn out, because we're pushing that fire outside of us, pushing it outside of ourselves, thinking that those things are going to change. That's me wanting to run away. Like, I left, I traveled, I did these things. I didn't conform to the system because I knew it wasn't set up for me. It wouldn't be sustainable back then. And so this is like almost 20 years ago. And so I did things differently. I left, I traveled, lived in a van, in an RV. Okay, built out my van and everything. Traveled, just worked gigs. Worked different gigs, and also sold things online, made some money online, and just documented my journey on doing that, to share that we can do things differently. We don't have to conform to the system. Now, I think that the time is ripe right now for us to really get into this and bring this community together even more so, because more people are ready and the system is crumbling. It's like crazy right now. But we know that there's more to life. And one more point is that either you have an intense moment that happens where you say, I'm no longer going to live this way, or you have some sort of they say like mystical experience that happens that reveals something to you, that gives you a revelation. So until you have a revelation, or until you get fed up, such an intense moment, sometimes near-death experience, rock bottom, until you have a moment like that, that shakes your world, that changes your perspective and your belief, things won't change. So this is what I want to say, is that if you are comfortable right now, you're not going to change. Comfort will kill you. It will slowly erode your soul because you're just going along with things. And I've read some comments of people that are like, all that work, basically all this effort you have to put into to change yourself and to create new healthy habits and whatever, all that work just to not have money and not have this fancy house and all that, for what? I may as well just stay where I'm at right now. Hey, that's what you're going to do it. This is not for you. Go ahead and click off. Not for you. This is for those who really want change. Now, and I say the intense moment in life, or the mystical experience. I've had both, and at different times, because sometimes you kind of lose the fire. Sometimes you get lost again. Sometimes you get caught up in things. It's life. And we're just humans on a rock floating around, okay? And we need that check, that reminder of why we're doing what we're doing. And for everybody, it's going to be different. It ain't even going to be that big of a deal. It could just be that you want to be healthier, pain-free. That's it. You just want to lose weight and look good in the mirror. That's for you, okay? But I had the shake up on an airplane one time to where it was like, am I living up to my fullest potential? If I go right now, what am I leaving behind? And who does that impact? And did I help them in any sort of way? It made me think about these things, and it's like, what am I need? Like, it gave a sense of urgency. So when you're comfortable, you don't have that urgency, which is why I say you need to get out of your comfort zone. You always hear that and you're like, yeah, okay, well, sure, comfort zone. You're sitting around watching TV, you're sitting around eating junk food, you're sitting around watching everyone else live life. And you're like, yeah, I'm good. That's why nothing's changing. You're too comfortable. You need to get uncomfortable. And either you can run towards pleasure or you can run from pain. And I think that you need to use either or in different seasons of life, during different times. Like I said, sometimes we just need that fire to be reignited or whatever it is. The pain that I felt if I were to go and I didn't do these things and I didn't make the impact and I didn't do whatever it was, the pain of that hit me. And so it was like, I got to go. I got to do this right now. I don't care what it costs, because I can go tomorrow, but at least I did these things. Now, I also am driven by pleasure, but the pain really is like that fire behind me. It's like, you got to go. We got to do this. Which is why, with everything that's going on, there's a reason, there's a purpose, and it's lighting some fire in people. Whether we like it or not. But if you don't have that pain, that thing that you're running from, the thing that you don't want to happen, if you don't have a strong enough of that, then you're never going to move from where you're at. You're just comfortable. And let me regroup myself and make sure, because I feel like I'm going off. It's been 22 minutes at this point. And so I don't want to keep you too long, but okay. So we know that there's more. We got this fire inside. We want life. We want change. And another note is that once I started to make that change, when she was like, let's go, let's do this. I've had multiple of those. Again, it just needed that reminder, but sometimes you need that big thing, that rock bottom, that near-death experience, that mystical experience, whatever it is, the thing that is uncomfortable, that's like, life has to change right now. I always say you either get pushed or you jump. And when you get pushed, it's like unfair, and you play victim and all this and whatever, so you got to work through that. But when you jump, then you're choosing that. But again, either we're jumping because we know pain is right behind us, or we're jumping because we're trying to get to somewhere else. Hey, what's up, Jessica? Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. But so when we're in that situation, I wanted to say this though, and this is something that I would hear, but I never. Okay, growing up in the religion I grew up in, this was not a thing that we did or talked about or like whatever. And even now, like, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just have my own personal experiences, so I'm going to speak on it. And that is our ancestors. One, our DNA is really big. We don't even know everything about the DNA. There's a lot of it that they just call junk DNA. So we don't even know. It's kind of like the ocean. We only know, 5% of that. But so we carry information in our DNA. And it's also something like your great-grandmother or your great-great-grandmother, you have whatever happened to her, those emotions, the environment they were in, all these things, that is in you. Like they said, the egg was already in the womb at that time, something along those lines. So we're holding a lot of that karma, a lot of that information, a lot of that energy that they had in us that gets passed on. I mean, it's known that whatever the mom was going through, it affects the baby. But what I'm saying is it goes even further back, like a long time back. And as we know with the history of the world, like think about how much trauma and just like women didn't have rights and things back then. So again, in my communities, being a woman, being in the queer community, mixed race, okay, grew up in the Black community, you see the injustice. We know this. It's already been done. Like that's been going on since forever. But we did not have these opportunities that we have right now. The internet, speaking to someone across the world in an instant, at this moment, this very moment, connecting, has never been seen before back then, like, or at least that we know of. But we are living in a time that is historic. It's huge. People didn't have these rights to just freely walk around and do the things. Like, so I came to a point where it was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not taking advantage of this. And then I would look in the mirror and I would look myself in the eyes. And, sometimes I would just remind myself and say things and reassure myself, because you got to be your number one fan. Who else is going to do it? Also, the way you talk to yourself is really big, especially when you're trying to reprogram things, because we hear stuff subconsciously. I saw a video the other day and the guy was like, whenever, it was something like, whenever I say something, it's like starts with I, but whenever I hear the voice in my head, it starts with you, because it's like the voices and the noise that we've heard subconsciously, it gets programmed inside of us and it's playing. And that's not even your thoughts. These are just thoughts that are passing through or that are resurfacing from the subconscious mind. So looking in the mirror and telling myself, hearing it in my voice, looking myself in the eyes and doing that, well, weird at first, how often do you really look yourself in the eye in the mirror and stand there and just like look into the soul? They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and everybody always looking at somebody else's eyes, but have you looked at your own eyes? And looking at that and seeing what is there, I mean, I would say a profound experience. And in doing that, I felt ancestral energy, if you will. This is the only way I can really explain it right now. And so I felt the need to do these things right now. Again, they didn't have these opportunities. So what are you doing? Like, for real though. And then again, it's the impact of others, but we want to help our family, we want to help these people, all these things, be the change, but it starts within. Which is why, again, I'm so passionate about all this information. And it seems, and it comes off as personal development, which it is. Well, it's personal, self-help, self-development. I always talk about the self-discovery journey, because it is a personal journey. And when you go on this journey, it's not easy. You have to look in the mirror. You have to ask these hard questions. It's not easy. It's hard. But again, do you really want change? People say they want it, but they don't really want it. It's going to be hard. But again, that's why you have to have the pain and you have to be uncomfortable, because what you want is bigger than that. Like, you don't want to stay there. You cannot do that any longer. You have to move. You have to do the things. So this is where the fire builds inside. And then now we're going to direct the fire. The whole point in this challenge, again, here we go, almost 30 minutes. And I haven't even really gotten into the 90-day challenge yet, what I want to show you and explain. But I guess today we're just going to do a general overview of it. Every Wednesday, we'll do a check-in for this challenge. If you're going to do this with me, you can start at any moment. I'm just starting today. And what I share, you can use it at any point, whenever you see this video. whenever you see any of these videos. You can start it whenever. And the thing is, this is amazing, and I love stuff like this, is that when things come full circle and it comes back around. Now, I had been talking about this project that I'm working on. Can't wait to show it to you all. It's coming together finally. Today, good news. Here's my win, because we need a win. So let's do some wins on Wednesday. Hey, we're going to do that. All right. Y'all know I've been struggling with it. A lot of changes if you watch my videos. It is finally coming together. There's two. One of them I'm still haven't heard anything in a while, almost a month. And so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I need to check this with some other stuff and blah, blah. And then this other one, last piece that I need to figure out. But it's coming together. I'm finally seeing it come together, and I'm excited about it. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, so it's finally coming together. And I'm saying this because back then, 2022, starting my LLC, 2023, was really working to push for this, but it just wasn't happening. And so I went back and looked, because I did a 27-day habit challenge back then. This is why I'm saying this. In February, it was 28 days in February. So I was like, all right, we're just doing 27 days. They say you need 21 days for a new habit, right? We're going to do 27 days. That gives us an extra week, basically, to really solidify this habit. It's short, it's sweet. Beginning of the year, let's do this. I probably had one or two people on my lives, which is fine. That doesn't matter, because you can rewatch it and all this other stuff. But I did it for a month, and I would do a live, and it was a struggle. Every time I tried to go live, the camera wasn't working. This wasn't working. It was so much that just kept happening. But I pushed through. I did the live, how a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, and a habit tracker, and this booklet about health and wellness and nutrition. And so I did that 27-day habit challenge. You should be able to go back and look at my lives and see them. I don't think I privated them. I'm not sure, but you should be able to. Don't worry about it, because we're doing it now. But I'm saying that because it's I did that then. Nothing really came of it. I have a Facebook group for it and all this other stuff. But then it's okay, I'm doing this challenge now. Here we are 3 years later, and I still have that stuff. Now I need to change it, update it. We're doing a 90-day, not a 27-day. We're going hard, and we're going to change our lives. It's going to be amazing and great, and this is the time to do it. But I still have that stuff. It's already set up. I just have to change the titles and things like that. So I'm going to show you all. If you're on here right now, I'm going to try to screen share and show you. But this is what I am going to provide for you all for this challenge as well, so you don't have to do it yourself. We're going to have a habit tracker, a monthly habit tracker. And here, let me go ahead and see if I can share this. I saw it the other day. Here we go. Share screen. Window. Wow. Oh, wait. Here. Tab. Nope. All right. We're just going to do this. Before I do that, real quick, let me make sure I'm hitting on this. Okay. On the note of why change is important and what led me to this point and why I'm sharing this information, so you can get some backstory on me as well. Who is this person that's talking about all this? I've had the encounters, I've had the experiences that make me want to change my life. And then I was like, well, what can I do? Be the change. Okay, starts within, then you go out. It's a ripple effect, a domino effect, not the other way around. And a lot of times when we try to change our habits and things like that, we start with the system and the tools and all these things, when we need to start with our state, which is why I started out talking about our nervous system, regulating our nervous system, because that happened to me recently. It was okay, I know all this information, I know all these things, but I cannot move the sacred pause I talk about all the time. I needed that time to work through some things. And then I got past that and then into a new cycle. Okay. Condensing this all down, I'm trying to. But through that, I created a method of how to get unstuck, of how to establish habits in a new lifestyle and be sustainable and successful with it. Okay. And I'm going to share that with you in a minute. So stick around with me. But when I went on my journey initially into changing my lifestyle and stuff, again, like I said, it was lonely because my friends and all were still drinking and things like that. Friends, and, some were, but, we're just in college partying, and then you get out of that and it's like, okay, now we're in the real, we're supposed to find a job, I guess. Again, one with the 401k, you're supposed to start a family, you're supposed to do all these things, but we were in a recession, world was burning as it is now. So all these things, and it's like, well, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And I started my own business and was working on that and everything. Started to get into personal development because it's like, okay, now who am I? What am my self-discovery journey? Start to learn, read books. Some people don't like to read books. Great thing, audiobooks. Great thing, YouTube, podcasts, summaries of books. You don't even have to read the whole book. We have YouTube University now. Great stuff. And so just start to consume the information, consume the content. But at a certain point, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is the actual power. Like, knowledge is cool. Great. You know this stuff. But are you actually doing it? That's the mastery, is to actually use that knowledge, not to continue to consume knowledge. And so I got into books though, but the books helped me because I needed it at that time. I didn't know who I was, what I was doing in this world. I was trying to find the meaning. I was trying to find where I fit in this life. Just what was the point? Being a good person, and you get what? And so just started to read books and go on my journey and learn and grow, work on my health. Because I knew I'd be getting older. I was an athlete, so what do you do when you get out of college? There is no sports. I didn't play sports, so what do you do? Well, usually people work out. I guess you go lift some weights, but that's not really fulfilling like it was when you played a sport. It can, but, just trying to figure these things out in life, learning yourself. And so some books that stuck out to me that really jump-started my journey or really helped me was one is called The Slight Edge. And it's basically about the compounding effect. The slight edge, that 1% compounds daily. And guess what? Not to say that you're comparing, but most people aren't doing any of that. Not even 1%. They're comfortable. They're living the life. They're going along with everything. They're complaining. They're not happy, but they're not changing anything. They're in that comfort zone. That 1%, though, is like, all right, if I just do a little bit at a time, it compounds. It has to. It's growth. I'm going in a different direction than just flatlining, which flatlining, you're actually going to go down. You're not going up. Okay, you go up or down, either one. And so, The Slight Edge helped me with that. Also, self-talk. There was this old book. I can't remember the title of it right now, but it's about self-talk, how we talk to ourselves. And in the book, it was about cassette tapes and how they would record themselves on a cassette tape and play it back. Obviously, nowadays we have our phones. I'm just going to do an audio recording in my phone. I have, some things typed up, or I looked at a list online or whatever. I'm going to record my affirmations, my self-talk, my identity-based statements, which we'll talk about that in this challenge. I'm going to record that, and then it's there. And then I can just play it back. I can play it back in my car. I can play it back in the morning. I can play it back. I can set it probably as an alarm. I haven't tried that, but you can do so many things because now it's just an audio clip. I can send it to my Google Drive, and then I can add some audio to it using some sort of app. I could probably just do that in my phone. And now I have some frequencies in the background, binaural beats, and then I have my audio clip. And then I just play that, and it's in my voice. Programming ourselves, okay? We're using what they use on us for ourselves. And so I just started to learn about those different things. And then I was into optimization and efficiency, because how can I do something in the best way possible and not have to do so much work, cut corners, but not fully cut the corner, because you can't always cut corners, but what's the 20% that will give you 80% results, basically. And so I started to look into that. What is that? The 4-Hour Body, great book, thick book. I read it for you. Kettlebell swings. Big exercise that will give you a lot of results. And by big, I just mean the 20% that's going to give you 80% results. Instead of doing 80% workouts and trying to figure it out and trying to do 20 different workouts and at this one time, and I can't keep up with it, and I got to keep looking it up, and one workout, kettlebell swings, a couple sets of them. Just do that. That's a full body movement. Squats. Okay, we're working the biggest muscle in our body, our legs. Burn fat. Speed up your metabolism. This is a movement that you would just start out with. Okay. So anyway, I got into that, and the thing is, I didn't find anyone like me. Representation is big. There were a lot of male figures, and I'm grateful because they have these books and they put it out even when they went through things where others didn't believe them and they just kept doing it. So I was able to consume that information. Okay, awaken the giant within, putting a fire in us. But again, I didn't see my representation there. And also some of the tools that were out there was really just books. And if you don't read, or you don't like to read, or you need more than just this visual, that doesn't really help you. And it was CDs, cassette tapes, and books. Excuse me. Now there's YouTube, so you have video, and we can use that as a visual. But again, there was something missing there. And so it's like, what can I do to help others like me in this? Which is why I'm working on the things I'm working on. Which leads me to the method I told you I was going to tell you about. If you made it this far through the video, this method I've been working on, I've experienced it in my life. I found the pattern and I put it together into a system. And I'm going to be using it in this 90-day challenge. So let me go ahead and share the screen with you. Also share system audio. Okay. There we go. Cool. Okay. So here, I just took my 27-day habit challenge that I had, and I'm editing it right now. Next week, I'll have this completed. So you'll be able to download these files. If you want it right now, just message me. I'll send it to you now because I have the tracker ready to go. It's just that I wanted to upload some other things, but I'll just go ahead and upload it to the website and put the link in the comments of this YouTube video so you have it. But I do want to make some tweaks, so I'll just update it when I make some tweaks, and I'll let you know next week when I make those updates. But I do want you to have it, so I'm going to go ahead and add it in there today for you so you can download it, and I will share the link with you today. But this is the PowerPoint presentation. I've started to do a slight edit. As you can see, it says 90-day habit challenge, so I did that. This is the new tracker that I'm working on creating right now. And right here, it says this 90-day habit challenge introduces the reset system. This is my system that I'm creating. This is a 90-day life reset. And there's a method that I'm going to introduce throughout this 90 days. I'm going to show you this method. And it is what helps me stay regulated. It's what helps me through daily life. It's what helps me when I can't fill out my planner all the time, but it keeps me focused. It keeps me going. It keeps me with these habits. And also it helps when I need to establish a new habit or get back to a habit that I have fallen off from. And this method is called the PARA method. So PARA method. And what this is, it's a 4-phase method. And it's really about grounding yourself, okay? Realigning, resetting your system and doing all that so that you can then have movement forward. All right, so it's a 4-phase system. I'm going to go into it deeper next week. We'll get into that later. But right now, this is going to be the habit challenge that I am doing. If you want to join me, like I said, at any point when you see this video, you can join it. I will have that link for you below. But this is the habit tracker. Let me see. Yeah, I have it right here. I'm still working on it. I need to put my logo right there here. And basically, we're going to fill this out. So you're going to have only one main focus during this 90 days. We're not trying to do everything. We're not trying to change our whole life in this first month. We're going to take it month by month, but by the end of the 90 days, we will have changed our life. So when I get on these lives, and depending on when you're going to start this, we're going to discuss what that one main focus is for your 90 days. And then, like I said in my other video, we will reverse engineer that. So I'm just going to share what I'm working on, which is going to be my gut health. All right. Because I know that it impacts my mind. It impacts my emotions. It impacts my skin, my hormones. It impacts my sleep and my focus. And so I need all those things to be top tier right now. I mean, obviously, of course, we want it all the time, but I need to get them back to where they need to be. I want to naturally rise earlier in the day and have more natural energy, different things like that. So that all comes down to nutrition and my gut health. So that is my one main focus for my 90 days. I'm not going to think about working out and all the workout plans and all this and all that. Only my gut health, my nutrition. And so that's my one main focus this month, is my reverse engineering of that. So by the end of the 90 days, I need specific goals. I've already written them down for myself. I have them over here. And so by the end of the 90 days, I will have gone through a gut health protocol, which I'm creating myself. And at that point, I will have lost weight, and I also will have implemented movements into my life. So I have doing my handstand and these push-ups. If you see my TikTok, I'm doing push-ups on there to a song. And so I want to do 10 full push-ups. Now, again, I said that's not my main focus, but these are things that will come from this because I need to incorporate movement, which will be one of my milestones, is by the month before this ends, I will be focusing on my push-ups and my handstands because that's a part of the movement, because movement is going to get my lymph system flowing better. I have a stagnant lymphatic system. All that drinking, my liver is not the best. I know these things. And also these are the ways your body detoxes and pushes things through. Okay. So then before that is going to be doing an actual gut reset, getting more herbs and taking certain supplements, things like that. Before that, I'm working on just nutrition, the foods that I'm eating, making sure I'm getting whole foods and drinking water. That's my main focus. So my one focus this month is going to be nutrition, specifically drinking 1 to 2 of these a day. Okay, because right now I'm only getting a half because I'm drinking other stuff like teas and caffeinated drinks and just regular water, but I've been putting chlorophyll in here, but I'm still just slowly sipping it. I'm not fully drinking. I need to be able to drink more than that. I'm just sipping and doing other stuff. So not hydrated. I need to get hydrated. So 1 to 2 of these, let's just say for this month, just do 1 because I want to keep it simple. So drinking 1 of those and doing my nutrition plan that I have. Okay. Which that is included in my nutrition plan because one focus is my nutrition, hydration, nutrition. Okay. I also hydrate through eating more hydrating foods like cucumbers, celery, fruits, things like that. Why this matters for me, it matters because I want to clear my skin. Like I already told you, energy, all these things that I already told you. If I don't change this, I will feel. Now, this is what I talked about before about having a pain, something you're running from, something you don't want to feel anymore. So if I don't change this, I will feel self-conscious about my skin. I will feel like I have no energy. I will feel like I'm not doing the things that I want to be doing because I'm not getting up early enough to do these things. I'm not having enough energy to do these things. All this. Like, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel like I am not living up to my potential, and what I want to do and what I'm creating is not going to be to the level that it can be because I'm not at the level I can be. Okay. I am someone who, now this is the identity-based statement. I've talked about this in one of my videos. I think I have it pinned on my Instagram. Okay, I am someone who drinks one of these a day with ease. I am someone who prioritizes hydration. I'm someone who says no to candy. I'm someone who prioritizes my health, so I don't eat bread. I'm someone who gets 8 hours of sleep, so I go to bed by 10 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever it is. Okay? Identity-based statement. I'm going to write that out so that I see this every day. And so this top part is going to remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing and help me stay focused. Now, under that, we have the circles, which would represent days of the month. It's been a struggle to figure out how to represent a month without saying the actual month, and every month has different days in it. So, it just depends on, excuse me, how long the month is. You'll just fill out those circles for that. If the month doesn't have 31 days, you can just scratch that out, put something over, put a sticker over it, whatever you want to do, leave it blank. But what you're going to do with this, and I didn't put it on this chart, I actually have it on this top one. I haven't finished it yet. So I was trying to figure out if I want to give you this calendar like this, or if I give you this one right here, this sheet right here. And maybe I can just give you both of them. If you want both of them, let me know. But on this one at the bottom, there's going to be a key right here. And it's like, if you do the actual thing, you're going to check. If you maybe done it for a little bit, you could do like a squiggly line or a circle. And if you didn't do it, there's an X, or you just leave it blank. And so that would just have where you can use those symbols to represent how that day went. And you can also do that for this one down here. It's up to you how you want to do it. It's yours. Do it the way you want to do it. But either way, we're tracking our progress. So today is April 1st. So for the 1st, did I drink my water? Okay. Did I eat the foods that I said I was going to eat, or stay away from the foods I said I was going to stay away from? So far, so good. Yes. And so right now, the day hasn't been completed. If I only drank the water, didn't do the food, I would probably do like a squiggly line, or, however I want to represent it, use a certain color to show that I did half of it. I still did some progress, but I didn't do the full thing. If I did the full thing, then I would check it. Yes. By the end of the night or tomorrow morning, I'll go and I'll say, did I do this yesterday? Yep. Boom. You have to physically mark it, because it is doing that motion and seeing it helps you. It's a reward system. This is why they give kids stickers in school. The dojo, if you know about that. If you have the dojo, it tracks this. It helps us measure. If you don't measure, we cannot manage. So this is the way that we measure. All right. And so we do that by the end of the month. Then we have this small section down here, which is what did work. It worked that by lunchtime, I'm going to chug this no matter what. By 1 p.m., by 12 p.m., whatever it is, I'm going to chug this to make sure I at least get one of these down. That settles it. All I got to do what? It took me like a minute. Excuse me. That's done. That was half. But I did that in the morning. I did that right before lunch. I would knock that out. I got the rest of the day. I ain't got to think about it. Go ahead and mark it on my list. Okay? I used to chug a lot of other things. Beer bongs, straight liquor. Okay? Taking shots of it. That stuff don't even taste good. And it's dangerous if it does. But, I used to do binging, all that stuff. I'm talking case races, okay? If I could do that, I can chug some water. Okay? So, boom. That's knocked out. Took me how long? Not very long. The other part would be my nutrition. But, again, if I set myself up for success, I'm not going to have those other things in the house. I'm going to say no. going to develop the habit of saying no when they do present themselves. Okay, and I'm going to choose other things. I'm going to start to develop that habit because that one's going to be a little harder than me just drinking water. Excuse me. But so this is the easy part. I know I'm going to knock this out every day. The other part, the harder part, the main focus is that food. What I'm inputting into my body as far as foods. So what worked? Chugging this by lunchtime. The other thing that worked, keeping the junk food out of the house. The other thing that worked is developing the habit to say no when it presents itself, those sweets and things. The other habit is go ahead and setting myself up for success. So when I'm out and about, I didn't make my food, I need some food, I'm going to go to the store and just buy the snacks and stuff because I know that it's more cost effective to just buy from the store than get fast food. If I can't do that, if I'm on the road, I used to drive a lot. I used to drive for work. And how do we eat fast food? So what is the fast food place that I can go to and what can I get from that place that is not going to be horrible and that also still tastes decent? Okay. Most places have some sort of salads. I'm not saying that you need to eat salad because I think that you need the protein on top more. So if anything, just eat burger, no bun. A lot of places have just lettuce wraps now, or you just order the burger and take the bun off. That's what I do. Okay. But you want the higher quality burger. So if you can get some sort of a steak burger or something, I mean, again, it's just fast food, stuff's cooked in oil. So you do the best you can. But for me, it's just not the bread. So I just get it without the bread, take the bread off. Just get in the habit of doing that. You're going to look weird to some people. People will say stuff, they comment this and that. But guess what? When you're looking good in a couple months, then they're going to ask you, what did you do? Okay. And you're going to say what worked. Okay. What didn't you do? I need to correct this. Or what didn't work? Okay. What didn't work was I didn't fill this up the night before. So I need to fill this up the night before. What didn't work was I set myself up for failure because I did not pack a snack. I did not say no. Okay. I need to work on that. This is just helping you assess what you need to improve for the next month. This isn't to beat yourself up or anything. This is just tracking it, measuring it, and seeing how we can improve. And then we just do better the next month. Okay. And then at the bottom, I'm someone who, again, you can rewrite the same thing or we can improve on it. I'm someone who drinks water daily with ease. Okay. I'm someone who packs my lunch. I'm someone who goes to the grocery store every Sunday and preps my food. All right. So that is the monthly habit challenge sheet. We're going to take this month by month. This is for 90 days because we're doing a lifestyle change. We're changing our life. But when we do these lives, we're only going to focus on 1 month at a time. 1 month at a time. That's it. After your initial 90 days, what's my main focus? We're only focusing on 1 month at a time. At the end of this, we'll be able to look back, see how far we've come because we have our sheets and we can look at our sheets and say, whoa, I was a little off that first month, or I was off that first week, or now I see my pattern that every third week of the month, because I'm a woman, I may not have the drive or the energy or the focus or whatever, and I give in to those cravings and emotions and whatever. So I can see that's been a pattern. So the week before, I'm going to prepare myself. Okay. And then how does that look like? So we're just using this as data to set ourselves up for success for the rest of the year, the rest of our lives, basically. Because now we're seeing our patterns. We're seeing what worked, what didn't work, and we're improving on it a little bit at a time, baby steps. Main goal with this, one, we're just tracking. We're not judging, we're just tracking. Fill in the information and just track it. Main goal, don't have 2 days that you miss in a row. You may miss 1 per week. You may miss 2 per week, but not in a row. Not today and tomorrow. You may miss it tomorrow, but not the next day. Okay. So that's the goal. It's not perfection. You do your best you can, a little bit every day. Try improving it better. And don't beat yourself up when you miss it, but just don't do 2 in a row. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for you with that. Outside of that, I will include this in the link. This is a booklet I called it the Jump Start. If you go to my website, bornvital.com, in the description box, okay, like I said, I did this 27-day habit challenge, and it's still up there right now until I add this information later today. And I would call it the Jump Start. You want to jumpstart your life. Okay, now we're calling it the reset system. And I have a whole system and a method I told you about. Okay, but so I've been making the edits to this. This one is pretty much done. I just need to pick a cover for this. I think I might go with this one right here. And I'm going to include this booklet. This is the basics of wellness. This is holistic wellness right here. We're resetting our system, who we are, this body we have, this mechanism that we walk around with, and we're doing it with intention. And so this first part right here is the overview of what you're going to get in this booklet. Very short and sweet and to the point, depending on what your main focus is for the 90 days. So either you're going to focus on your body, which is your energy and movement, working out, physical looks, aesthetics, whatever that is. That's down here in phase 3, move your body. That's your main focus. So you really focus on that. This 90 days is developing the habit of moving your body, finding something you enjoy doing, and just do that for these 90 days. Okay, the next one will be your mind. This is wrapped around clarity, okay? And so with your mind is clarity, and also recognizing these patterns that you have. So that will be under phase 1, which is the stress and lifestyle habits I have on here. And so this is phase 1. It's about doing that sacred pause and realigning so that we can find direction and clarity, and clearing out that clutter in your head, all that stuff. So your main focus is going to be this first phase, stress and lifestyle habits. Okay. The next one is going to be your life. This is your life, and this is around organization. And again, that can go under this first phase too. I see a little disconnect here. I may need to adjust that. But I have on here on this that I have my notes right here for your life, because a lot of people want to declutter their life physically. They want to improve their finances. There's certain relationships they want to improve. And so that's an area of focus. And I would say that that's under the stress and lifestyle habits as well. But this overview is a holistic overview. As you can see right here, I have the PARA method, which is what I told you about. This is my method that I created, and this is what we're using here with these phases that we have. So the first phase will be stress management and lifestyle, and what that looks like, some tips on improving that in your life. And so, like I said, only pick one for your 90 days. This is an overview of all the different areas, but only pick one for your 90 days. But we're going to pause and realign and reset our life, gain some clarity here. Okay, but a big part of that is our identity. So, you should definitely look over this and read through it and understand that this is set up in this order because there's a reason to it. Because you need to develop that new identity and this mindset to even incorporate these new habits. The next one would be nutrition and gut health. This is my main focus for the 90 days. So when I use a lot of examples throughout this, of course, they're really focused in this area. Top 3 things to heal your gut. So these are the areas I'm focused on right now. Phase 3 is to move your body. This is your focus. Here are 3 ways to get your body moving. The basics. Okay, this is all about the basics. We can keep it simple. We don't need to overcomplicate things. Use what you have right now. Pick one main focus and keep it simple. So this will be included in the download that you can get on my website for this reset system. So you'll get that and the tracker. And we'll just get back here. And let me just click through this real quick, and we're going to see if there's any other information that you need to have today that will help you out. I think that's pretty much it, actually. So we'll just click through this real quick. Like I said, I had this in 2013 during my lives that I did for the habit challenge, 27-day habit challenge. So I haven't fully edited this. We're going to look through this together real quick. Today, We are here to create healthy, intentional habits, habits that are sustainable and will help us reach our bigger goals in life. All right. This is me. This is a little photo of me. Obviously, my hair was short back then. This tells you a little bit about me, but I spent the first 20 minutes kind of telling you some backstory about me and why I do what I do and why I share this information and how I got to this point where I'm sharing what actually works so you can cut out that other 80% and you can do the 20% that will actually help you. Okay, what to expect during these weekly live streams. Like I said, I haven't edited this PowerPoint yet, but we're going to understand this holistic lifestyle. Like I said, that packet is about a holistic lifestyle. Hitting those different areas will affect all other areas of your life. So those are the inside. We do that, and then it's going to affect our outside world, and then we can go out and affect even further. Okay. It's also about keeping these healthy habits so that we can get these sustainable results, these lasting results. All right. And of course, I'm going to be continuously sharing these tips and resources for you. I'm providing you the resources right now to do this. Why are habits so important? I've already went over this. I don't need to cover this much more. But of course, they help us move from A to B. Basically, they move from where we are now to where we want to be. And it impacts our perception of life and what is possible. Let's see. See what needs to change and what's holding you back. Yeah, we're going to identify the patterns through this. And we're going to focus on the small things. Okay. So, yeah, this next one was a really big quote that helped me out. And I talk about this a lot. Your beliefs become your thoughts. This is what's swirling around in your head. Your thoughts become the words that come out of your mouth. Okay. And your words become your actions. Because you're going to back up what you say, right? Your words become your actions. They also attract others. And so you're going to become like the people around you. And you're going to adapt to that and conform to that because you want to feel like you fit, right? So we got to be careful about our words because they become our actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values, what you value in life, what you prioritize. And your values become your destiny. So if we want to have a certain outcome, then we need to understand our values. When we understand our values, they will affect your habits, your actions, your words, your beliefs. Okay? So this is the backbone of it right here. And this is reprogramming yourself. One big thing, and we'll get into this maybe next week, I'll write that down, is our values. If you don't know your values, what you actually value and prioritize in life, then how do you know what you'll stand up for and what you won't? How do you know what you're going to prioritize? Because anything feels good, again, we're in our comfort zone, or it's going to make us feel good, then we're going to do it. But if it does not align with your values, then you need to say no. If it does not align with those non-negotiables, because you value your health, and if that does not, those food and that place you're going to does not align with that, then you're going to say no. And when you get there, you're going to be able to pick something on that menu that does align with your values and be okay with it. And be okay with being the different person, the person that's eating it without the bread or whatever it is that's going to take it off or ask for these adjustments that may seem complicated or a hassle to others, but this is what you value and you know the importance in it. Okay. All right, moving on. Miss excuses. Positive thinking won't change anything, or a lack of willpower is to blame for our bad habits. These are excuses. It takes a set number of days to build a habit. I've talked about this. Yes, it can help, but for lasting, sustainable change, lifestyle change, it's going to be longer than the regular 21 days. Okay. Your excuses are that you're too old, you're too big, you're too late, not enough money. We have a lot of excuses. What is it? Everybody has a booty hole, okay? Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the saying. I'm sure somebody does. Okay. Missing days hinders your progress. Look, it happens. It will happen. It's life. Don't do 2 in a row. That's the goal. Lack of energy, laziness. Again, you just need some fire inside of you. Get uncomfortable. Do you have any questions? Nobody's here to ask any questions. We'll do that next week. Main ways to continue to grow when hurdles come up. Growth mindset. Prepare by knowing your why. Again, we'll talk about this next week because this goes to your values, your why, your identity, and then we'll start moving forward. Tips and strategies. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. Just get started. Just start to do it. Put your tracker somewhere that you can see it. I would put it in my bathroom next to the mirror, on the mirror, depending on how your bathroom's set up, in your closet, wherever you go to first thing in the morning, right before bed, put it there so you can see it. Keep your immune system in good shape, because if you are not healthy, you cannot do these other things. So if that's not your main focus for the 90 days, it's okay. But we do want to understand why our nutrition and health is important, because if you're not healthy, we can't be wealthy, because you're not going to be able to go to work. You're not going to be able to get up. You're not going to be in the right mental state. So it is important, which is why, again, just look over that whole packet that I have for you, because it's important. Get rest and relax your nervous system. Backbone, regulating nervous system. This first phase in the method, the PAR method, is about pausing and aligning. This is about regulating your nervous system, coming back to safety, and then recalibrating that compass, your GPS, to your true north, so that you can show up and do these things, that we can fully embody it, that we gain clarity. Okay, this is all about part of the PAR method, this part right here. So I will improve on that. Next step, here we go. Sign up for the 90-day habit challenge. And you can go to this link. This link still is active. This is where the 27-day is right now. And this is where I'm going to put the 90-day later today. So you can actually actively go to this link right here and find this tracker in this packet and get started. And I do have the Facebook group. I've been adding stuff into there and revamping that as well. So you can join the Facebook group when you download these files. And that is where we can hold each other accountable. I'll be putting some different posts and motivation in there and checking in there. If you cannot join the lives, that's a good place to be. So definitely check that out. And we are not live every Monday. We are live every Wednesday. Okay, and we're going to do 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay, that's the goal right now. Wednesday, 7 p.m. because I know a lot of people are at work right now. You can't really get on here, which is fine. This just worked out for me today. But we are going to do this challenge. We're going to do regular weekly Wednesday check-ins, wins, Wednesday wins. But I will hit on this throughout those for the next 90 days. And so you can join me Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube. And I didn't do TikTok Live. Let me go ahead and pull that up now real quick. I'll pull that up before I get off of here. And I'm going to show you all, because I did this last week, and I'm going to do this on TikTok. I'm going to do my handstand. And I may attempt my push-ups, because I've been sharing that on TikTok, doing a push-up challenge there. But yeah, so we're going to do Wednesday, 7 p.m. What I was going to say is that next week I'm not going to be here, maybe somewhere else. And so I'm hoping that my internet will be good enough for the live stream. We're going to see. I'm going to show up. We're going to do it. If it's not going to be a good quality and it's not going to keep going and we have interruptions, then I will just record a video and I will post that afterwards. But we're still going to hit it 7 p.m. Wednesday. We're going to do live every week and regular Sunday long form content as well. We're going to continue that. All right, let's keep going. I think I'm almost done here. Other notables, things that will help you create lasting success. Use a journal or a planner. Journal, my daily journal. Shout out to my friend for that. It was my birthday gift. And then this is my planner. Okay. My journal is a good way that I track progress. It's a good way to just dump out whatever's on my mind, whatever I'm thinking about, whatever I need to get out, instead of holding it all in, dumping it all out on paper. Whatever it is in that moment that needs to come out, I just dump it out. Planner is good to stay focused in, again, like a kind of habit tracker sense, but more detailed. Also, just regular life. I know when I have certain events, when I have financial bills coming out, things like that. A good way to just track these different areas of life, basically, and be more consistent. So, if, like the milestone. So if today's the 1st, then by May 1st, if I didn't do it on the 1st, I mean, it's pretty easy to keep up with that. But let's just say if it was a different day, I'll put it on the calendar. By this date, here's my milestone. I need to have drink one of these a day, and locked in my meals and regularly going grocery shopping and cooking. So that's just become natural to me now, basically. And so I would have that as a milestone. So when I'm going through and we get to that point, I'll see that on my calendar and I'll assess, like, okay, that day's coming up next week. Let me look at what I'm doing. Where do I need to adjust? And start to do that. Okay, set alarms. Simple and easy. Set you some alarms. I'm going to set the alarm, 12 p.m., drink your water, finish the first one. Okay, that's an alarm I can set. Set an alarm to eat. Set an alarm to go to bed early. Whatever it is for you. Use a calendar if you don't use the tracker. Same thing like a planner. Like I just said, you could use that. If you don't use my habit tracker, you could use your calendar that you hang on your wall or a planner and document the progress. That's why we use a tracker. But same thing, using the calendar, your planner. This is how we're going to track our progress. This is how we are going to identify these behaviors that we need to change and these patterns. Because we're just holding it all inside. But once you see it outside, you're like, oh yeah. Here, like I said, like every 3rd week of the month, I'm in a slump. I'm irritable, whatever these things are. So now that I know that, how can I assist myself before that, or even after that, or during that week? So we want to document. Okay, remember, get clear on your values. We're going to talk about this next week. Your beliefs and your why. Yeah, next week, we're going to dive into that because these are important. This develops your identity. And if we're creating a new identity, then we need to be sure of what we are believing and what our true values are, because then we're able to say no to things. We're able to prioritize better. We're able to gain more clarity. Okay, we'll dive into that next week. And yeah, like I said, create your new identity. Okay, don't give up. I'm going to keep going, keep shining as always. If you have any questions, this is not my social name anymore. Okay, find me at that. You can email me at that email address that is active. And boom. Thank you for sticking around and joining me. We're at an hour and 17 minutes. So this has gotten longer than I wanted to, but it's all good. I got it all out. I'm going to make these edits, upload this to the website so you can check it out. I'm going to go on TikTok Live now. And so if you want to join me there, you can join me there. Otherwise, continue to shine on Wednesday, 7 p.m. I'll see you next week. We're going to talk about our wins. We're going to talk about our values and our why and our identity so we can fully embody this person and step into the new fully and establish these habits. So I hope y'all don't get out there. Continue to shine on. I think that's all I got for you. Just one little tidbit, because I wanted to share this, is that I heard it recently, is that it's easier to break a cracked pot than it is a new one. And so we feel incomplete. We feel like we're not enough. We feel like, what's the point? So it's easier to just give up on that, to just break it, to let it be broken, to get rid of it. There's a thing in Japan, like the kazan or something like that. I think that's what it's called. It's where they put the gold in the cracks and it makes it new. And so we're putting the gold in the cracks. And we're appreciating the cracks as well, because it shows wear. It shows experience. It shows a life well lived. And you don't need to be new. We don't need to be younger. We don't need to be all these things that we're not, because you're not. You are who you should be right now, and you're where you should be. So we just take what we have right now We're going to make the gold and fill those cracks. But it's also, someone brought this to my attention about Chiron and how he's the wounded warrior. And it said that the wound is where the light enters. And I think they said that Rumi said that. And that makes so much sense. The wound is where the light enters. So many times we look at our flaws and the cracks and all these things, and we're only looking at that. But we're not seeing the light that is there, the purpose in that. And so maybe spend some time till next Wednesday thinking about that. Thank you for sticking around. I really do appreciate y'all. Keep, doing your thing out there. Keep shining. Again, if you stuck around this long, I got to give it to you. Check out I'm about to hop on TikTok Live to do this handstand. I don't want to leave y'all hanging. I'm going to just go ahead and do that because y'all were here with me last week. We'll do that real quick. Hopefully you'll be able to see if I can do this. I haven't done it again since last week, so. I didn't stretch, though. This is going to be interesting. I did want to say real quick is that I have been working on draining my lymph system and massaging that. I have a little portable massager. Thank you, Corey, for this. And I just go along the lymphatic system. Also been doing Qigong and stretching. So I have been stretching. I've been getting it in every morning and doing that. And then I do my meditation and breath work when I can, if I have the time. But doing a little this, if I don't have that, I'll do this, or especially on certain areas that are sensitive, I will do that. And then move my body a little bit, stretch a little bit. So I'm just saying that because I have seen improvement in my flexibility over the last week of doing that. And I have not practiced the handstand though. And I feel like I need to stretch a little bit, or it's just a little hard today. So I'm feeling that a little bit, but we're going to try. All right. Well, hopefully I'm good. Alright. That was just a little something for y'all, a little physical activity. Didn't feel good. I didn't want to do that. Once I got over there, I was touching the ground. I was like, ugh, why do I got to do this? But yeah, I just haven't done it in a while, and I need to get in the mind frame of being upside down, because that's a whole thing. And then you got to trust that you're going to hold yourself. That's why I usually do the wall stuff, which I'm going to be doing that as one of my physical activities. I call it training. Some people call it movement, working out. I call it training. And so, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So I've been stretching my at least 2 minutes of stuff, but it also just leads and ends up being 10, 20 minutes. So this first week, I would say don't do anything longer than 2 minutes for this new habit. Just do 2 minutes, and then we're going to develop it over the next month to do longer than that. And so once I am in the habit of stretching and stuff now. So my next thing, I'm doing these push-up challenge for TikTok. So it's doing that in this wall holds for at least 2 minutes a day. So that's a little side tidbit for y'all. Like I said, I am working on nutrition. That's my main focus. But this is 2 minutes a day. So I'm just doing this. And I've also said that I'm doing this push-up challenge on TikTok. So we're doing that. But either way, y'all take care. I'm going to get on TikTok Live and do my push-ups. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hopefully, see y'all Wednesday, 7 p.m. All right, y'all. Take care.